Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Great Wizard Bukake, your host. Our heroes have learned what's happened in Akkah, and it's all terrible. Juniper used her professional interrogation skills. Butthole discovered he was an apostate. Reginald learned he's a hero to the people, and Quinny was forced to memorize an elaborate lie to tell people they meet. What will happen now that they've learned the rebellion's leader, Gary the Traitor, is dead? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Gary the Traitor? He's dead.
Yeah, we're gonna need to huddle up again. Okay, so Gary's dead. The true believer.
How long ago did he die?
What's another?
I'm not going to help you on this.
I'm trying to think of a third one.
Yeah, fucking no. You rule through yourself. I've got like so many that I'm just not giving you any of them right now.
I've got two, but I'm not giving them either. You got to find this on your own.
All right, Paul. Hey, Paul. What? When did Gary die?
The traitor was killed soon after Typhus took control. Lord Typhus was not a fan of the free bird's thinking.
Free bird. Was he in Aarakocra?
Yes.
Oh, Gary.
Was this a friend of yours?
Yeah. Yeah. How did he die?
He was executed by Lord Typhus himself.
Oh, jeez.
He was spreading the edicts of the old ways of an Akkah that brings order, that is a force in the world that is respected, but also that helps bring things into control. That's all any of us have ever truly wanted from the war. It's fun spilling blood, don't get me wrong, but like there has to be a purpose, and that purpose is bringing order to chaos. And this world is nothing but chaos with planteers and their fake gods and apostates running around and all sorts of madness. But Gary, he refused to fall in line when Lord Typhus took over, and he paid the ultimate price. But now Gary the Traitor's words live on, and you can find true believers by the mark of the free bird. And he does like what our 40K fans will be quite familiar with as our double-hand Aquila. And she tries to throw that up, but she's tied up, so it's again just everything's under under bindings.
Okay, I can't bring him back from the dead if he got executed like a year ago.
Last thing he said to me was that, like, the unseen hand, they had more plans for me. And, I mean, I eventually just forgot about it because we had just had so much going on. Is the unseen hand still a faction here in Akkah, or?
She gets a little wistful at the mention of the unseen hand. She says, yes, those were glorious days when Lord Archibald led the unseen hand. Then we had to move in shadows, and as he stretched his influence across the world. But no, if the unseen hand has any plans, they live purely in Queen Emily's head, and she speaks not of them nor to us these days. Only Typhus.
Okay. I mean, it's awful to hear that Gary went down like that, but we still need to figure out this true believer thing. We need to get with these kinds of people who are ready for a change, but like a change to old things.
Well,
an old change.
You knew Gary the Traitor?
Yeah, I did.
Well, that will carry some weight with the true believers. The words of Gary put a lot of what some of us felt into words for the first time. We'd felt it, we'd lived it. We just simply didn't realize what it meant until he did. You say it's awful how he went down, but really, can any of us desire any greater sacrifice than to inspire one's peers, one's friends, one's countrymen? That's what old Patty Two Eyes wants, and it's Patty, you son of a bitch. Patty. Yeah.
Right. Sorry, I just I don't respect you. Patty Two Eyes.
Gary didn't kill you, I will never understand. But
Well,
Gary
he did abandon us in a prison.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
that's
dear.
the Gary I know.
All right, so here's the question. Who's leading the true believers now? There's no movement that doesn't have a leader.
Well, you are false there, Big Britches. There is no leader. These are just people who speak in dark corners of the words of Gary the Traitor and of different ways. But anyone who rises to lead is immediately killed, like Gary the Traitor. So instead, people put the little hand marks on things, or sometimes they like whisper at each other's ears. But beyond that, there's not much. I mean, you would have to truly inspire the people for them to be willing to follow someone. We do need a hero. We are looking out for a hero to the end of the night.
all right, so the guards, they don't come into this part of town if people hide out here?
Well, I mean, no one's supposed to be in here, and generally we're all pretty good at hiding, as you've seen. So, no, they do come in every so often to take away anyone who is found, though, to add to the corpse pile.
Okay, so we've got to create a legend that'll get people all motivated to bring the true believers together. And if we need a place for them to all hide out, we make a little hole that lets people come and hide out here where there's no security. And if the group gets even bigger, we can show them the way down into the mine.
Yeah,
And there's
the
a place to
mines.
hide all the rebels.
There's a lot of weapons down there, too.
So we got armor for an army.
Oh my goodness.
We got a boatload of weapons for an army. We have a whole underground place that's got like dripping water and shit. It's a little light on food, but maybe everybody likes, dwarf jerky. Then
Dead dwarf jerky?
No, living dwarf jerky.
it'd be
Juniper.
weirder if we ate
Right.
live dwarfs. So the dead dwarfs is, I would argue, net gain. Then all we need to do is like start a whisper campaign about what's going on and get people excited and get that to happen. Now, realistically, we could do that by either doing very heroic things or very murderous things. But we're in Akkah, which makes those two things the same.
And I mean, yeah, there's some pretty good opportunities around. If you wanted to cause a stir and get some murder heroics going on. I mean, there's the Coliseum. That's pretty much where all the only place left that's fun around here.
Okay, yeah, Patty, if you could give us a rundown of the fun, cool places where we could cause some shit, that would be great.
What are the hot spots?
Yeah, allow me to list out some points of interest on your mini map there, Bucko. So the Colosseum is probably not from your time, Lord Reginald, but it's been erected over the old training grounds. Now that the shamblers of most of the army, there's not really much need to train anymore if you're mortal like some of us. So we still need to fight something. Gotta fight something. So we built a Coliseum where the greatest warriors fight each other for a chance for glory and entertainment. Now that I say it out loud, it sounds like it's just being used to distract us from larger problems. I really liked the Coliseum. That's a bummer. Okay. Near the Coliseum, of course, there's the tavern, the old campaigner. That's where a lot of the bards sing of the victories in the Coliseum. So, you could probably pair those two for a 1-2 combo punch. There's the corpse pile, of course, where all the corpses go before they're raised by the necromancers to,
Do
Oh,
people-
that's what the corpse pile does.
Do people come and look at the corpse pile? It's
Is it
Well,
a tourist
it's-
attraction?
yeah.
Hey, it's for piling, not for looking.
Yeah, I think that's more of just like a what's around that people might talk about. Again, we're getting high
Okay, I
level.
was
Like
just-
here's, when you go to like a local tavern in a big city and then they give you a little map and it's got like the drawings of the big things to go see. We're kind of getting that from Patty, right?
Yeah, can you just draw us a map then?
These hands
tell
are for
us
stabbing,
everything.
not for drawing. And math and drawing are the two things old Patty Two
right.
Eyes doesn't do. So, no.
Mrs. Paisley comes out.
Hey, Laura, roll me a d6.
1.
1. All right. Patty's eyes go wide, and she just yells like, "Oh, witchcraft!
No, dear. I'm a changeling.
Somebody stabbed the changeling!"
No, quiet. She's going to draw.
I'm here to draw a map, dear.
I don't like you people very much, but I got no other options. Old Patty Two Eyes, she's stuck. Okay.
Yeah, so after the corpse pile.
Yeah,
Paul has no
Yeah.
problem with her general discomfort. He's like, this is useless.
Okay, so we've got the quarantine zone market to the far west here. That's where we are. We got the Coliseum and the old campaigner. They're just a little bit north. north of here. There's the there's the corpse pile in the south, along with the site of New Beginnings where the dead rise. And then
Is the site of New Beginnings? Is it right next to the corpse pile?
oh yeah, it's only it's very inconvenient to have to lug a corpse much further. So yeah, it's just set up there. Honestly, it's a pretty good operation. I just hate what they're doing.
Makes sense.
You know what? I've got questions, but please carry on down your list of...
Okie dokie then. So we got the former hospital there in the east, which you'll all remember, of course, from being there. But it's not a great place. I escaped from there, and a lot of the folks here did. Ever since they drove all the clerics out, there's just not a lot of healing that goes on there. But
What does go on there?
well, I mean, there's doctors and stuff who wrap you with bandages and other things. I was given a tea full of herbs to drink. It tasted terrible and gave me the runs, but it did not get rid of this cold. So, it's a scary place to be in.
Quick side question. You said that they chased the clerics. Did they kill the clerics, or did they just chase them away?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really hang out with that crew. I'm more of the stealthy, roguey type crew. I'm part of a stealth group.
You are not.
We go on sneaking missions. I'm
Okay.
very good at it.
You're not.
Oh, okay, well, agree to disagree.
Quinny, let it go, please.
No, but I will leave it for now.
That's actually the definition of letting it go.
Yeah.
I won't let this go.
Okay.
Okay, good. So I'm right. Carry on.
Okie dokie then. So there's the hospital. It's kind of bleak. But yeah, they just try and administer medicines and stuff. And usually people just kind of die. It's hard if you got like an axe wound to, the chest or something. And you're used to someone like waving magic hands on you and making it better. And now it's just kind of like, here's some Band-Aids. Good luck. And you're like, this hurts. So there's that. And it's really just a short walk from there to the corpse pile. So, it kind of works out. There's the barracks near the hospital where a variety of troops live. The Dark Spikes kind of made that place their own. They're dressing it up, trying to imagine what it'll look like when they're part of the Horde, when the invasion goes through. And then there's the portal bridge that those just awful men are working on. They just bicker and yell and stomp around, and the magic shoots up all over the place. It's such a waste. They could be out there killing with magic. Instead, they're using it to build a big circle. What a bunch of dummies. And then there's the Forge, which is busy turning all of our cool like pew pew guns into weapons for the Shamblers. A lot of the zombies didn't come up from the ground with weapons or anything. They just had like teeth and claws and nonsense. So we're building them armor and weapons and stuff, and we got all those useless guns now, so we can just kind of do that with them.
Yeah, the guns don't work anymore, right?
No. And then she like narrows her eyes. She's like, "Was that you guys too?"
No.
That was Grayson Typhus's fault. Infrastructure problem. He caused a civil war somewhere because they didn't like his plan, destroyed all his shit, and then it stopped working here too.
Oh yeah, that's that quantum energy he keeps talking about, eh?
Correct.
Oh yeah, no, they keep taking all the cores out of those guns, and they're shipping them somewhere. But I don't know. It's I heard something about the portal bridge, but I don't really know much about that. I mean, old Patty Two Eyes knows to keep your head down and not listen to rumors and hearsay, unless they're about the Freebird, the word of the Freebird.
Okay, Tom, just to make sure I'm following. We've got the market where we are. Mm-hmm. To the north is the Colosseum.
Yes.
To the south is the corpse pile.
Correct.
And the site of New Beginnings.
For the record, the Colosseum, I'm bad at maps, so I can assure you these are all on the points of a compass. West is Quarantine Zone Market, where you are currently.
We are, yeah.
Northwest is, so clockwise, northwest is Colosseum and Tavern. Absolute north is the Forge. Northeast is the Portal Bridge. Mm-hmm. Direct east is the Barracks and Hospital. And south is the Corpse Pile and site of New Beginning.
Okay, cool.
And dead center is the Black Castle, which Reginald and Butthole will both remember is has a sort of a moat of ethereal fire around it that is impassable unless the like ramparts from the Black Castle are dropped. It's literally built to be like a bad times bunker.
Yeah, we're not going there first.
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems like, friends, we got to kind of create a movement which means we got to do some splashy stuff. We got to shut them down. Then we got to make this whole place go to war. So if we're looking at this strategically, they can get a bunch of new help from the corpse pile, which we need to destroy.
Yep.
And they can eventually get a bunch of help from the portal. It sounds like relatively soon if there's going to be a parade, which we need to destroy.
Yep.
Right.
Because that'll lock down the ability of
More.
big new forces
Yeah.
popping up here, which is just like speed. The market, we know we can hide people here and in the mines.
Yep.
The Coliseum is a great place to do something flashy.
Build up a rep.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, or do something to like introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
The Forge, I don't really know what to do, but if we destroy it, zombies are worse armed, which I like. Hurts the war effort, but perhaps not as immediate. The barracks, sounds like that's the dark spikes, so we could avoid that and make that a later target, perhaps after we've weakened other things.
Yeah.
The hospital sounds weird because they're giving poop yourself tea.
Yeah, I wrote
But-
doctors with
Yeah.
quotes around it after that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also wondering, though, if the clerics used to run that place. Clerics of life are pretty hard to kill, especially if they
Sure.
work together.
Okay, yeah.
And other clerics who might have been there, clerics of war, are exceedingly hard to kill. So if they scared them off but didn't kill them all, there may be a group of clerics hiding somewhere who would be highly useful for us. They're probably, again, we don't have anybody we need the clerics to look after, so we might need to make some friends first. But I'm thinking top priority, destroy the corpse pile.
And then we can see if there are any clerics in there.
In the corpse pile?
Yeah. Well, just to see if they're still alive.
Yeah, if we assume if they're from this, I mean,
I think
don't
if
know
they're
if-
in the corpse pile, they probably didn't make it.
I think you know what I meant, Quinny.
I honestly don't.
I don't know how big the corpse pile is, but I don't think we want to dig through it to be like, clerics?
No, that's fair.
But maybe
I
if
don't know
they're-
how big this corpse pile is.
How big is the corpse pile?
it's very
Patton?
big. Oh, you see, now you're just thinking of them in advance.
No. You must be able to tell that I'm not.
Look, old Patty Two Eyes doesn't use her eyes to look into how you're doing your bits there, Shorty. It's a tall pile.
So I think
Okay.
we got to figure out, we got to scout some shit out. Step one is we got to figure out what the hell we can do. But I'm thinking it's a pretty big if we can rig up the corpse pile to explode, take that out of the equation first, but do some big fancy show at the Coliseum where we declare it's going to happen and have the corpse pile go, boom, while we win at the Coliseum, boom.
Ooh.
Then it's like a pretty flashy start for a rebellion. And then we just like fuck off into the night.
People may have heard of me. I am the champion of Handor.
That's very possible.
Yeah, maybe.
And people may have heard of me because I'm the Forsaken.
Oh,
People
indeed.
haven't heard of me because I know how to be stealthy.
Actually, they have heard about you.
No,
Your
no,
name
no,
is
no, stop,
Murder
stop, stop.
Child.
I'm making a point.
Murder
I'm making a
Child.
point.
You're a celebrity.
Anyway, that's a good plan. Can we swap out the corpse pile for the portal? Because it seems like they're taking the cores out of the guns to do something with the portal. If we can tamper with those, maybe we can blow up the cores near the portal.
Okay, so we blow up the
We
portal.
don't have anything to blow up with the corpse pile yet. We'd have to source, like, I don't know, dynamite.
Okay, so we blow up the portal.
We'd have to have walked through a mine or something to have found blasting powder.
Wait, we did that though, Quinny.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God, this is very convenient. Yeah, I have to say, it's a real coinky dink, as they say in the Horde.
Okay, so corpse pile or portal are up for
I mean,
sabotage.
the thing is, if we blow the portal first, we assume the security response will be shitload of zombies.
Yeah.
They go to corpse pile. But if we blow the corpse pile, the security response may be Horde. I would rather fight or hide from zombies than the Horde.
I would rather blow them up simultaneously.
Okay, what if we do that?
At the same time, it looks like, they haven't got the portal totally operational yet, right?
Correct.
So that's like possible Horde immediately, definitely zombies
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
so
maybe
we
we deal with
it
the
might-
definite threat first.
So we blow the corpse pile.
Yeah, blow the corpses.
Okay, what if we go around to all the bars and we talk and we just like talk it up a little about how, the true believers and the resurrectors, because we got to start name dropping them together so we can turn one into the other.
Right.
They're going to do a big showy thing to strike back at Typhus so that everybody will know how strong they are. Then, boom, corpse pile goes away. Then, boom, portal goes. Everybody's starting to talk. They're going, oh, I wonder what's happening with these resurrected. Seems really impressive. Then they all go to the Colosseum, and suddenly, in a surprise twist, Reginald and Butthole appear as unified princes, and they win the championship, and then they announce that they're the badasses, and they lead the whole crowd to destroy the barracks.
I love the optimism there. I am worried that openly talking about treason in bars and then blowing up the corpse pile and the portal and then taking credit for it at a largely public event will get us killed.
Okay, well then what's your plan?
My plan is, you kind of had it. It's a little bit your plan. We're not there when they go off. We're at the Colosseum and we say it's going to happen and then it happens. And then we're gone. Do you see what I'm saying? Where it's like if everything happens in sequence and then we're at the Colosseum where everyone else is, everyone like they're going to be there. The Spike guys and
See, I understand that, but there is also something to doing things in sequence and building potential support. Because, we do things,
all right, well,
everything happens kind of all at once, then it's like
start it there,
confusion, and then we're like, yeah, we did that. Whereas like,
we'll gauge
if we
the
do things
response
one
then.
by one, then we can go around a little bit, maybe build a reputation.
All right. I knew
I'm just saying
have...
if it takes people time to come around to a new idea.
I knew, coming in here, just a small group of us, that there would be a period of building reputation and trying to win these people over. Let's do it that way then, and we'll just gauge the response and maybe change the plan as needed. Does that make sense?
So we start with...
Corpse pile.
I was going to say Colosseum, but you said corpse pile.
We start with taverns, talking up the resurrectors.
Wait, I got a different
the old
idea.
ways.
What if we do Colosseum, win something, get ourselves a reputation at the Colosseum? We go around, we get approached by various political people. Maybe the true believers approach us. Maybe we flash a little...
That's a better word.
Flash
I
a
like.
little bird
yes.
hands. See how they see who responds to some bird hands at the bars, not at the Colosseum. Then we've got the reputation building. We are going to go back to the Colosseum. That's maybe, if it's all working and people are on board, give a big speech, boom, corpse pile.
Yep.
Fucking disappear and ghost for a bit. Then we attack random things they won't predict. They're going to think we did the corpse pile. We must be going after the portal. Nope, we fuck up the forge. Like, we can switch it up.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I like it.
We base their response. But the first thing we got to do is get people to know what the hell is going on. Here's our other problem. Reginald is super fucking famous.
Colosseum then.
Yeah.
Colosseum first.
No, but if they see a living Reginald...
That's going to be great for us, right?
What if my mom wants Reginald back?
You have to come and fucking get him.
You seem to live in a world where you think that won't happen.
No, I mean,
What if I go undercover into the palace?
But I thought we wanted you as Reginald to be a Reginald
Yes.
for the people.
What if I'm a Reginald for the people, but I'm also Reginald for the palace?
Which cape are we going to need for this?
I'm going to need a gold cape.
Okay.
Step 1, gold cape. Step 2, Colosseum. And then we see if dear old mom wants her handsome Reginald back, or if I need to hide.
What's your Lich Queen experience like, Mr. Horde?
Minimal.
Okay.
I had an insane cleric dad, and that was it.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I mean, just by the name, you'd have to be dead for her to control you, so you should have okay agency there.
Perfect.
Unless
We
you
all know
die.
the one rule. I don't die. So,
I agree. In case anyone's asking, he doesn't die. Now, what about fighting a time dragon and going back in time and just making none of this happen? That's old Patty Two Eyes' plan.
I'm sorry, what's a time... Do you have time dragons here?
Well, I don't know. It just seemed like a thing that could exist.
all right, so step
Anyways.
1, we're going to research time dragons.
So we have to go to the library.
What's a library?
Step one keeps changing.
That's because we're indecisive. I think from what we've said, and I agree with this, step one, we got to do something at the Coliseum
think
and
the
get
Coliseum
some
is
higher
Yeah.
profile.
I agree.
Uh,
You could all defeat the champion of Handor.
and if Butthole is so we've got we're bringing 3 champions. We're bringing the champion of Handor.
Yep.
We are 4 champions. We're bringing the greatest thiefy winner there's ever been.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if that's going to be Coliseum fair, but
Reginald leans over us here. He's like, I don't know about a handover either. Greatest thiefy winner ever. Champion of Handor. We bring the Forsaken, so nobody's aware that there's an apostate.
okay, yeah.
And then I show up as Reginald.
Okay. And Butthole, you still got your Forsaken armor in your tummy bag, or is that gone? I can't remember.
Well, it's
Because
kind
you
of...
look like...
Yeah, I look like, but here's the challenge. We need me to become... No, wait, will unveil me. This
I
is
figure
perfect.
there would
Yes.
be... Yeah.
We're going to need to go somewhere to get me new armor because I do not have the Forsaken armor. It's currently being used by that guy from Neverwinter who's hiding out with
Paladin
the prince.
von Strauss,
There
baby.
we
There we go.
There's a paladin who's been doing the Forsaken around a bit. If he brought the prince here, he's completely fucking insane, so I don't believe that happened.
No.
So we need to find a blacksmith. We need to find a blacksmith who can make Forsaken armor. And based on your Quinny has to go to the Coliseum and make sure the Forsaken isn't here.
Yeah, because you said he'd have to be insane to do that, and I think he is.
Well, I mean, he fights evil everywhere, so I'd be really surprised if he brought an incredibly vulnerable child to the Coliseum of Hellworld.
It would be surprising, wouldn't it?
Damn it. Okay, so we have to scout the Coliseum. We have to get Forsaken armor, maybe. And then we adjust our complete fucking plan based on who's here.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Reginald and I need disguises to not look like us then.
Well, you can stay invisible for now. That's one down.
Okay.
Reginald, I got nothing. He won't even take off his cape.
Oh, no, I will if I'm not Reginald. That was only a problem if I had to be Reginald somewhere else.
Goddamn mind.
And I know how a Reginald dresses. You know what a Reginald would never wear? A cloak. Like a chump.
Tears in Patty Two Eyes at her beloved liege lord having returned. So in terms of getting disguises for Reginald and Butthole, you can't get armor from the marketplace, but you could conceivably... Well, I mean, if he wants a golden cape, you can't get that here.
No.
You have to go into town for that.
These disguises are actually just hide who they are disguises. It's
So
not
that
try
you
to
can
appear
definitely
somebody
piece
else.
together. Because again, there's like...
Yeah.
you can think of what's left
Dead
in this...
people here.
Yeah, there's dead people, and there's like... There are market stalls where, if you think of it like being a former puppet builder, if you go into like a fabric, anywhere you can buy fabric, it's just like reams and reams and reams that are all like stacked to murderous heights. Some of the stuff was just too big or heavy to move, or too cumbersome. So there's just like, unspooled fabric in certain places, or it was just too cheap to care about. So there is definitely enough if you want to just like turn yourselves into like spooky ragmen.
They'll just be the Aragorns in the tavern of just like, who is that hooded stranger for some reason? But yeah, they'll both do that. Butthole will give you back the ring because clearly you're going to have to walk around in public. I mean, we're not in a world where you couldn't pass it to him if you needed him to disappear. But having a random invisible man who clanks is probably going to be more distracting than just having a
So
big
when
guy in a
Butthole
cloak.
gave Quinny a ring, it would be a bigger deal. But here we are.
Yeah.
We've passed this ring back and forth like 11 times.
Yeah, it's not about the ring, Tom.
You tell that to all the diamond ads I grew up listening to.
And then Juniper, we could probably pack up the Akkah armor unless you want to try to have to pretend to be from Akkah while we're
Oh,
traveling.
no. I'll be back in Blingdenstone armor.
Great. We'll just, I guess, suit up and kind of go normal. So here's what I'm thinking we should do here. We should show Patty the underground place in the mine so that Patty can go there, and then tell Patty to just like tell everybody else who's hiding here and like dying in the sun to go down to the mine and drink some water and eat some fucking food or something.
Yeah.
And then if she can, make a hole or two, put the true believer sign on them so that people can sneak in here and get guided down here if need be.
Yeah, Patty, you ready for a revolution here?
And she looks at you, and her two eyes go wide, and she says, You said my name. I won't fail you, Mr. Quimby, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr.
doesn't
Quimby.
care. Plausible deniability if she gets caught.
And she stands up a little bit straighter and says, "This doesn't change anything about how I feel about you, Mr. Apostate, or what you all did to our beloved Archibald."
Allegedly.
But if it means stopping typhus and returning Akkah to what it was, then you got old Patty Two Eyes help. I guess I'll follow the words of the free bird after all.
All righty, we got a plan. So we'll build disguises. We'll let Patty start to work. Once we're all geared up, Quinny, I think it's up to you to find us a way out of this fucking giant walled-in market.
Yep.
Okay. So by this point, we're kind of coming up on evening. So the sun is going down. It's a brilliant sort of pink-red sky as clouds start to come in. There are lanterns lit along the sort of exterior wall, but again, like it's high enough and they're far enough and they're looking out that you're not too concerned. There are, of course, no lights in the quarantine zone, but all of you have 1,001 D&D provided ways to see in dim or low light, so it doesn't fucking matter now, does it? Again, you can still hear plenty of hustle and bustle outside. It really doesn't seem like this. It's a military nation state, so like there isn't really a night so much as there is just a it's not a restful night. It's just this is a different time on our 24-hour military clock.
Right.
How do you want to try and find a way out of this, Quinny? Is it just kind of like tracking along the wall? Basically, what I'm getting at is between Patty going around and trying to convince people to come into the mines and the lack of guards, you have pretty well free reign of the quarantine zone, aside from people occasionally trying to like jump you because they think you're here to drag them to the corpse pile. So there's that threat, but that's a pretty minimal threat.
Right.
You can roll your fucking dice for it, but I don't think it matters. So how do you want to try and approach this?
I think I got to get to that wall and find a way over or through or under, you know?
This is the
wooden
wall.
The one that's partitioning off the market where we're all kind of operating out of.
Cool. So let's go ahead with an investigation, please.
Investigation. 14. Sorry, I had to do a math. I was very bad at it.
Dude, you are preaching to the choir. 14's fine. So, yeah, it's not hard to find ways in and out. People have clearly been digging in and out to get through here, and there's been a lot of efforts to stop it up. You also get the sense, though, that no one... The vibe you're getting from this as someone who has been in jail and kind of knows what to look for is that this is it's not quite voluntary, but almost. Like they're clearly assuming that if people go here and die, they can just come collect them whenever for the corpse pile. They kind of don't care. They're clearly allowing this without, like, they do stop up the holes, but like they're not actively guarding it or patrolling it. It's the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, fucking, if you want to leave the hospital and go to fucking garbage zone, you can do that and die there. I don't care.
Oh, these people are really broken. Like their spirits are in the dirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think particularly as a former prisoner yourself, the idea of like a self-imposed jail is a real unsettling thing. All that to say, there is a main gate that is controlled from the other side. But even that doesn't seem mechanical, really. It's just a classic, like, drop a big bar across it. And then otherwise, there are small pits that have been dug under it. There's nothing kind of going up and over. You do see some shredded, like small scraps of clothing and cloth kind of blowing in the wind along the spikes from people who have tried to make it up and over. You might even see like a rope that's been sheared or burnt. There's basically a variety of ways out. However, for you, all of these are great. For the rest of your party, they are not spectacular.
I am looking for something discreet, more so than the main gate, but it's got to be big enough and accessible enough for our two biggest guys who can't change into different shapes and sizes. Am I able to narrow my search or spend a little extra time to find a suitable path through this wall.
Yeah, I think so. Let's do another. I don't want to just keep sticking you with investigation because I don't know if it necessarily feels right for all of these checks. Let's go with a
Sleight of hand?
Yeah, that's honestly what I'm leaning towards. 'Cause
Really? I was joking.
Yeah, but we've used it in past to kind of be a blanket term for kind of like skullduggery and
I guess so.
such things. So give me, how about this? Give me an investigation, a sleight of hand, and a perception, and we'll see where we get.
Investigation. 6 and 6, 12. Sleight of hand was next.
Yes, please.
16, 31.
Good God.
And, what was the last one?
Perception.
Perception. A dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay. All right, so between those, I think we can safely say you find the least patrolled spot. So it's not, there's not like a gap or anything necessarily. I think you can probably say it's like a part of the wall where the ground has been dug out. The bottom of the stakes is a bit like broken from where someone dug through. And it's weakened the area around it. But it seems like it's down an alley from what you can kind of peer through the slats to see. So definitely the kind of spot that you can, if you were going to kind of try and crack it open and make space, the kind of place you would.
All right, this is our spot then. This is our exit. So Quinny's got that locked in. He's going to basically know where it is and how to get to it, and he'll come back to the warehouse.
Okay, fantastic. So you've identified the site. Quinny, how do you want to try and get them through? Also, keep in mind, you can also lean on any of them for input on this. Now that you've identified the spot, you can all kind of, there's enough empty buildings and stalls and things. You can all kind of like group up closer to it than.
Yeah.
I don't want to imagine the scene being like you running laps back and forth to the warehouse.
I think it would basically come down to Quinny, asking our three much more stronger allies to like bust this kind of compromised part of the wall open enough so that they can get through.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have 3 strong experts with hammers.
There we go. We don't need a fourth.
Doc Huckleberry will be present.
I was about to say,
Keep forgetting.
he looks down at his hammer, is like, yeah, great.
Why do we give him a gun that doesn't work?
He's holding the
Back
hammer.
in it, Doc Huckleberry.
Wait, what is he holding it with?
He still has arms.
He's got-
he had
Oh.
6
Yeah,
arms,
extra,
but
arms.
he's like
He
his
doesn't
extra
have his
arms.
mechanical
I've been
arms.
thinking he's going around with
Armless?
no arms.
Oh wow, no, that's a much sadder situation for him. No, he has 2 organic arms and he had 4 robot
Right.
arms.
Okay.
Yeah.
We even made the Goro joke. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Goro plus
God.
2. Yeah, it's all good. It's all right. Okay, so let's go ahead with athletics for the strong folk.
Alrighty.
Butthole guidance himself.
Yeah, that tracks.
23.
For Butthole, it is wrong character sheet. For Butthole, it is a 12.
Yep.
For Reginald, it is a 9.
Hachi-machi. Okay, so Juniper, you're putting some weight behind it. Can you roll me a d6?
Yeah. 4.
Cool. You're throwing some weight behind it, and you can feel that like really satisfying like when you're pulling against something that's like wedged particularly close together. It's just like not giving, starting to give, which is amazing. Unfortunately, Butthole and Reginald, you're having some difficulty with it. These things are well bound together. It's also an awkward thing for 3 people to kind of work out.
And Juniper got in the middle trying to pull it open. It's really hard to hit it with a hammer when that's happening.
Tapping over top. So unfortunately, in the kerfuffle, since we had 1 of 3 successes, we're going to count this as kind of a fail overall. You hear some jovial voices talking of 2 guards who are patrolling by and are now within earshot, which will make cracking the wall somewhat more difficult. You hear one of them just saying like, well, yeah, I mean, Brutalatrix is pretty well what I would look for in if I was a betting man and a Coliseum fighter. He's brutal. He has no ethics. He kills for fun and for sport. I mean, that's kind of where it's at. And you hear his companion just say like, Yeah. I understand what you're saying. I understand. I do. I really do. But like, I just like the elegance of Chance adrenaline, and you can tell she's like kind of into Chance adrenaline. It's just the flair and the speed, and I mean, Brutalitrix has the strength, but look, I used to have to fight people like Chance all the time, and they're a real pain in the ass. So I'm just saying, like, you can put your money on Brutalitrix if you want, but I think Chance has it. I think Chance is gonna win for sures. And they you hear sort of the crunching of their boots as they approach, continuing their conversation.
I mean, Butthole would just like flag everybody to stop, wait it out. Reginald would just lean back and like hold up a cloak to hide his flaming hammer because he can't actually put it out without creating a fireball.
Yeah,
so just hide it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna roll. I was gonna make the next check more difficult, but I think with that in mind, let's roll to see if they perceive some kind of check for perception, a perception check.
A will check.
God damn it.
Will they see it?
Yeah.
Look, what was it? Battlemaster? War Master? I forget. There's a class that doesn't exist anymore. Warlord. I'm going to make you move 3 hexes, and then you can take a free action. That's what these two characters are. They're 4th edition warlords. Okay, so... Let's make this an opposed check. Reginald, I'm going to need a dexterity save from you to see how quick you get the cloak up in front of the flaming hammer.
Perfect. Let's play to his strengths.
Watching your face fall as you looked at that statistic, excellent.
Juniper's right in there, right?
Yeah, Juniper wedged in the middle.
You got a save thing, right?
It's a save?
Yeah.
Yeah, add 3.
Net 20.
Perfect.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed your cool idea, Tom, because it's over.
That might as well be the subtitle for this show. Okay, so all right. So the 2 guards, they stop, and Reginald, you quickly flip this cloak up over the fire of the hammer, and as they continue to kind of bicker, the one guard who's into Chance just says like, look, being on guard duty is difficult enough. I don't need to spend it with someone who doesn't respect proper combat. So I'm just going to be on my way. And he's like, well, hang on a second. And then as they're bickering, you're holding the cloak over the hammer, and the flames begin to lick against the fabric, which is cause for concern. But with a nat 20, it is cause for awesome, as the dusty kind of scraps and shreds begin to glow with a golden light as the dust burns away. And you realize that the fabric that you stole for your sort of like Aragorn at the pub hood is actually a rare and fine fabric of golden sheen. So as the hammer burns it away, you realize that you now have a reversible cloak. On one side, it's got like beautiful gold that would work as a Reginald cape. On the other side, still like dusty garbage, which you could burn away with your hammer if you so desire.
Holy shit.
So there you go. There you go. It's like that Nicolas Cage pillow made of things. You rub your hand up and you see his face. Sequence. Thank you. You rub it down, it disappears. So you have that now, and the 2 guards go away bickering about who will win in the arena.
Now, to track continuity for my brain, does Butthole also have this by default? Or we'll just say they were different fabrics.
I think it was different fabrics. I literally, because the way I imagine the fabric hunt going is like you just went into a stall and each grabbed the thing that was big enough to wrap yourself in.
Yeah, it feels about right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I mean, Butthole could hold us up to fire.
That's not the way he thinks.
Well, poop. Okay, so the guards go on their way with additional time. I think it's easy enough that like Juniper just continues to do her job very well. You bend and crack the things to be able to just kind of like basically creak up a flap that you can all like sneak through. So you exit out of the quarantine marketplace and into the streets of Akkah.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. The Half-Blind Prophet, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, OMG It's Big Nick, D&D and Things, Norma Byers, Schrodinger's Pepper, Guy Edwards, Flea Unit, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Melissa Rain, Nithrian, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.